Hey, year 10s, that's Mr. Smith. Today we're going to talk about factorization. And to talk about factorization, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the HCF, the highest common factor. Highest common factor. So this is something that you probably talked about even before year 7. But if I gave you two numbers, if I gave you 18 and asked you what the factors of 18 are, it's basically saying what are different ways we can multiply to make 18. So one way we can make 18 is I can make 18 by multiplying 1 and 18. I can multiply to make 18 by multiplying 2 and 9. Another way I can multiply to make 18 is 6 and 3. And I think those are all pretty good ways of kind of getting to 18. So let's look at another example. And we're going to try to find the highest common factor of 18. And we'll also try to find the highest common factor between 18 and 24. So think of the factors of 24. So obviously we can go with the same nice and easy one, 1 and 24. We can go with 2 and 12. We can go with 3 and 8. We can go with 4 and 6. Can't think of anything multiplied by 5. We already got 6. We got 8. All right, so those are the different multiples of 8. What's the highest factor? So I see 6 here, and I see 8 here. The other way that your teacher probably got you to write this once upon a time is they probably got you to write it like this. 1 for 18, it'd be 1, 2, 3, and then it'd be 6, 9, and then 18 are the factors of, those are the factors of 18. And if you try to think the factors of 24, your teacher probably said 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and then 24. And then you went like this, and you saw, oh, those are the two highest numbers. The highest common factor of 18 and 24 is 6. So that's the highest common factor. And that would be one way of thinking about it. So if I were to get a brand new slide and do it all over again, let's try again. If I gave you, let's look at 27 and 18. Let's figure out the factors of 27 and 18. Okay, so I can multiply 1 and 27 to make 27. Can't multiply 2 by anything to make 27. You can go, 3 times 9. That's 3 and 9. Can't multiply 4 by anything, 5 by anything, 6 by anything. Okay, so there's the factors of 27. So if I write 27, the factors of 27 are 1, 3, 9, and 27. Okay, now let's do 18. 18, the factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and then I can 3 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18. So the highest common factor for 18 and 27 is 9. There's our highest common factor. So that's the highest common factor would be 9. And sometimes with time you get good at it, you can just kind of do it without even listing all of them. Like a lot of these I can look at them, and from practice and time I can just tell you what the highest common factor is. So let's look at another one. I'll give you 31a squared and 14. All right, so let's list the factors of 31. Sorry, list the factors of 31. I can get to 31 by going 1 times 31. It's a prime number, so I can't think of any others. So we've got 31, 1, and 31. Okay, 14, I know I got 1 and 14. I've got 2 and 7, and I can't think of many more after that. So in this situation, 2, 7, and 14, the highest common factor is 1, so we can't divide anything out of these. Or can we? Don't forget that I said this is not just 31, but 31a squared, which also means that it's 31a times a. Sorry, it's 31 times a times a. Sorry if that's really messy and they look like 9s. Let me just clean that up. It's a little bit hard to write everything neatly on this. 31 times A. There we go, that's better, times A, much neater. And then 14 would also be 14A is also 14 times A. So in reality, the highest common factor for this one would be actually A. Isn't that kind of crazy? And we'll do some more practice with that. So I want you to think for a couple seconds. I want you to look at these examples and check out this. So if I gave you 4 multiplied by some number, 4 multiplied by some number is going to equal to 4x. What number do I have to multiply 4 by to get to 4x? If you're thinking x, you're correct. All right, so the next one. If I had 5 times something to get to 10x, what do I need to multiply 5 by to get to 10x? Well, the first thing I know is I need to multiply 5 times 2 to get to 10. Then I need to multiply 5 by 2x to get to 10x. Hope that kind of makes sense for kind of thinking about what do I need to multiply to get to something. The last thing I want to touch on, and this is looking at kind of bringing everything all together. So if I asked you for the highest common factor of, so I would like you to find me the highest common factor of 8a and 20. So the first thing I do is I'd list them. I'd go 8a, go 20. So what multiplies to make 8a? Well, I know we would have 1 and 8. You'd have 2 and 4. And I can't think of anything else that multiplies to make 8. 20. 1 times 20. 2 times 10. 3 times nothing gets to 20. Ooh, 4 times 5. So now you look, what's our highest common factor? It's 4. Is there a pronumeral next to 20? Nope. So our highest common factor for 8 and 20 is 4. If I asked you the highest common factor of 3x and 6x. So we can get to 3 by saying, okay, 1 and 3. I can't think of any other ways to multiply to get to 3. To get to 6, you can go 1 times 6, and I believe 2 times 3. Highest common factor is 3 for the numerals, but if you look at the pronumerals, both these have x in it, so the highest common factor of both these would be 3x. Try one more. This one's trickier. Last one. So this one, I've got 10a squared and 15ab. So the highest common factor, I could sit here and list all the different highest common factors for these, but I know just by looking at them that the highest common factor for these for the numerals is 5. I can just tell you that by looking at it. 15 doesn't end in a 0, so it obviously can't have 10 as a factor. The highest common factor for both of them is 5. Now let's think of how you make 10a squared. 10a squared is actually 10 times a times a. And 15 is actually 15 times a times b. So they also share a in common. So if you look at 10a squared and 15ab, they both have the highest common factor of 5a in common. So kind of walked you through today's lesson about highest common factors and even how to think of the highest common factors of algebraic terms. So I hope that helps you out doing your practice for today. Hope you're all doing well. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.